Hey folks, how you doing? Suzy Meadows here. Welcome. It is Monday, June 26th. This is my normal Facebook Live every Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hey, I love to paper craft, especially with Stampin' Up goodies. And today I'm going to make two cards. Unfortunately, I'm needing some sympathy cards. And so I'm going to make a couple cards. They're actually fairly easy. And they're going to feature the Earthen Elegance Designer Series paper, which is really pretty. But as you come on, let me know you're joining me by leaving a comment. Whether you're here on Facebook, you're watching live, you'll see that red rectangle up at the top. Otherwise, you may be watching the replay, or you may be watching on YouTube, but thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Ruby, glad you're joining me. I am getting ready to go ahead and turn down to the work surface. So I'm going to get up close and personal. But of course, I always have to find where my buttons are. There we go. Okay. So I hope you guys are all doing well. There we go. Let's make sure everything is where it needs to be. Oh, and I didn't look on my iPad to make sure everything is working. Good, it is. Excellent. Okay. Well, thank you very much for joining me. As you can see, this is the Earthen Elegance paper right here. Of course, it's 12 by 12 and it's double-sided. And these are all the different designs. And I have already made a couple projects, and I'll show you, they're here at the end. But we are going to use this paper and this paper. And on the reverse side, that's what we get on the reverse side. But these are the ones we're using. So let me go ahead and get this out of the way. I need to move some things, of course. My iPad is right in the way. There you go. So, excellent. I'm going to put that over to the side here. Okay. And let's get started here. The reason I'm featuring this paper is it is one of the papers that are on sale this month. And so I've been trying to use these papers so you could see what they look like. The Earthen Elegance, there's 13 papers on sale, and this one is $10.62. So, hey there, glad you're joining me. I'm just looking here, Marie. Yep, you're heading to class, I bet. But be safe as you travel. So I'm going to straighten this up a little bit. It looks like it's a little crooked here. Keeps wanting to sink, but that's okay. It will be fine. So just reminding you, because we are in the last week of June, so don't forget about that. And of course, there's a join special. If you've got quite a shopping list, you might consider joining the team with me, because for $99, you get $155 of anything you want. So, okay, let's get everything out of the way. We're going to start with we have 3 different sizes of punches, and this is the 2-inch that I'm going to use. These are actually the supplies I need. We're going to stamp on here. In fact, I've got an extra one. We'll go ahead and stamp. Like I said, Sympathy, unfortunately, but with Deepest Sympathy, something fancy is the one I'm going to use here. And ink. Here we go. I'm using Pebbled Path because that coordinates with the paper we're going to use. So let's go ahead and ink this up and stamp that right on there. There we go. And we are done with the ink for right now. Okay, so we will put this right up here. This was a spare in case I goofed. Paper. This is just half a sheet of cardstock. And we will fold it well. Okay, so here's what we're going to use. Now, like I said, the papers we're going to use we're going to use this one. In fact, I've already punched one hole out. But there we go. That's one we're going to use. And I put the other paper back here. Let me grab it. In my tidying, I'm going to use 2 of these. As you can see, I turn this over so I can see exactly what I'm punching, whether it's got a design or not. So, And I like these because they fold down. So nice and compact. Okay, so this is going to be really easy. Now, one thing, I want some more, I'll show you my design. This is going to be my design. It's going to be boom to boom, something like that, and the sentiment here. But I could run this through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, but instead, I think I'm just going to add some ink to this. And I'm going to do that by, well, where is it? Here we go. An alcohol marker. This one is the, which one is the basic black? Yes, the dark black. And, okay, well, we'll crease this. I guess I could put it on both sides, but I just need it on one side. So I'm going to splatter, and this is how I like to splatter. I take the thick end, and I just knock it. And all I'm doing is splattering ink. There we go. And I'll get this up close so you can see what it looks like. And I like using the alcohol because it dries really fast. Let's get it, oh, there. Can you see? You can see the speckles? All it does, it just adds a little bit of interest. That's all it does. But I like adding a little bit of interest. Okay, so this one is you know, I consider it a really easy template. You can use this with any designer series paper. And, you know, I put glue on there, but before I do that, circle, I want to figure out where I want my sentiment. And I think I'm going to cut the end instead of, so it's not squared. I'm going to follow that Y. And I think I want that right there. And I'm just going to put that down flat. I'm going to glue it flat. I'm not going to elevate it with a dimensional or anything. This is where grid paper is nice. You can see, I can just see that's a little crooked because here's my line and here's my line. So that works really good. Okay, now we will adhere the circles. I think I want this circle clear over here. There we go. And this one is going to go here. So this one, I think I'll put that up here. So I'm going to adhere a little bit more liquid glue. And this second card is actually fairly easy too, but I'm going to use a different technique with it. There we go. You probably hear my kitty cat. I just fed them thinking that might satisfy them, but I have 2 rescue kitties I picked up in January, and they are one just love, and the other is standoffish. But once you start giving that other one, Sir Whiskers, he's named Sir because of his attitude a little bit, but once you start giving him love, oh, then it's good. But it sort of has to be on his terms. I'm gonna see. I put a few 3-dimensionals back here because I want to elevate this and give this card just a little bit of definition. Okay, it looks like I've lost my comments for a while, but that's okay. So there we go. That's going to go right there. So quick and easy sympathy card, but I think it looks nice. So, and on the inside, I could, I was looking to see if I wanted to go ahead and stamp the inside. I think I'm going to wait because I want to do some thinking before I do that. So, but I want to work on our next card. And this also is, I consider it fairly easy. Here's my tools. Once again, we have, I didn't tell you, we have gray granite is the card base. So I'm using the same color, and I got the color off from that designer series paper. It tells you what colors are there. And so that's why I'm doing that. And so here's this, and I'm going to use this design again, and I went ahead and cut it, but I'm just going to look. Yep, there we go. So we can, oh goodness gracious. I had a cat that just went flying through the air, if you're wondering why I'm giggling. So thankfully not into an open ink pad. They've not done that so far. I've been very pleased that they, for some reason, I don't know whether they realize it's an open ink pad, but they stay away. Okay, now I'm going to do something a little different. Let me get my tools over here. This is, I believe you could call it smooshing, ink smooshing, but I'm going to take a block, just an acrylic block, and I've picked 3 colors. I used Lagoon to back my designer series paper. And so I've got Coastal, Lagoon, and Pretty Peacock. And once again, with the big end, now this, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna write right on the block. And then I'm gonna spray it with water, and it gives us a really neat design. So I started with Coastal, and now I'm doing my Lagoon. As you can see, I'm not doing it all neat and pretty, because when I spritz it with water, the ink's gonna run. And that's sort of, it gives it a neat effect. So I've got my acrylic craft sheet underneath here, and this is a spritzer. I just have water in it. And make sure, yep, I wanted to make sure I was in the frame. So let's scoot that up here a little bit. And I'm just going to spritz it 2 times is all I spritzed it. And here's just some plain old white cardstock. And can you see how this ink is already running a little bit? So I'm just going to put it down and just hold it there. And can you see what it's doing? I'm letting the ink and the water absorb into the cardstock. And we'll leave it here just a little bit. Now this takes a moment to dry. So I have prepared one ahead of time, and but I wanted to show you the process. So isn't that neat? You have an ombre effect because I started with Coastal and went to Lagoon and then Pretty Peacock. But this needs to dry. Now, if I was in a really hurry, I could use my heat gun and get it going, but we're not in a hurry because I have worked on one ahead of time. So we will get these. I'll just lay that there, though, so you can see it. And, okay, get things back where we can see. Okay, now, if I'm going to use this same sentiment with Deepest Sympathy. And I need to find the piece that I had already cut. Hang on. It's here. Oh, goodness. Where did I just saw it a minute ago. I tell you, today has been one of those days. Here we go. Here we go. If my head wasn't attached, I would have lost it. So, but here I've already cut it down to a square. And I am going to stamp on here using this pebbled path. Now, you could, if this was still wet, you would want to use StazOn because it's a different type of ink, and that way it wouldn't run. But this has been drying for a while, so it's ready to go. So I'm just going to try to, as you can see, it's on an angle, but I'm going to just stamp it and bring it back up. There we go. Close the ink. And this is just giving a little bit of interest to our card. So we will go ahead and adhere this on with, once again, I'm going to use my liquid glue. And I've got 2 cards I want to show you that I've made using different paper. So I think we'll put that right there. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to elevate this. So I'm going to use some dimensionals. And I'm going to put it on each of the corners here. So there we go. And take the backing off. Now, if you ever can't get the backing off, you can use take your pick tool and stick it. And there it just popped off. So sometimes if they're a little rascally and you can't get them off, that's the thing to do. But I could get that fine. So I'm going to put the points, hopefully, straight up and down, north, south, however you want to look at it. So there we go. Now, I think I need just a little bit of bling, but this could be a masculine sympathy card, or it wouldn't have to be. But in case it is going to a gentleman, I don't want to put bows on it. So, but I am going to use some rustic metallic adhesive dots. And I need to get the right angle here. I think I'll put a big one, a little one, and then another big one, and I think I will put it over here. So there we go. I think that adds. I don't know. Oops, putting the cap on the wrong way. So there we go. So this was using, it's a different technique, and I think it bumps it up just a little bit. But here's the first one we made, and the technique we used, was a circle punch, and we added some interest with the stamping blend. So that's the two for today. But one that I had showed you earlier that I made, I think last week, we had used the there was a gorgeously made stamp set, and that paper is what I wanted to show you. And here is another example using this designer series paper. So it's a very earthy, hence the name Earthen Elegance paper, but yet I think it just adds. It makes it really refined, and it looks very soothing to me. So gang, thanks so much for joining me as we made these two cards, and these just are a couple examples. So thank you very much for joining me, and I will be back next Monday, which will be July. And just as a reminder, there's a lot of things happening in July. There's I'm doing a vendor at Doll's Christmas Tree. They're doing a Christmas in July festival, the 7th and 8th, and I'm doing classes at the Lebanon Library on the 13th and the 27th. All of that is on my website. If you go here, craftingwithsuzy.stampinup.net, you can find under my events everything that I have going on. And if you're interested in ordering, I would love for you to order through me. And here is this month's host code. So, gang, thanks so much. It was good seeing you via Facebook. And I hope you take care and catch up with you later. See ya. Bye-bye.